Your savings account is robbing you blind. If you had $50,000 sitting in savings last year, you lost over $2,000 in real buying power. Gone. And this year, it's happening again, but faster. I know that sounds insane. You've been told your whole life that saving money is the responsible thing to do. Your parents said it, your bank rewards it, every financial expert preaches it. But here's what they're not telling you. While you were busy being responsible and stashing cash away, wealthy people were doing the exact opposite. They were putting their money to work as fast as possible. And that's precisely why they're rich and you're still struggling. Today, I'm going to reveal the 3 psychological traps that turn savers into permanent victims. You'll see the exact math that proves your savings account is designed to make you poorer. And I'll show you the one framework that flips this entire game in your favor. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right with money, but somehow still can't get ahead, this is the moment everything clicks. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you will completely rewire how you think about wealth. Trap number 1, the inflation robbery. Let me show you some math that your bank is desperately hoping you never see. Picture this. Back in the year 2000, you saved $10,000. You felt good about it, proud even. You put it in a savings account, earning interest. You told yourself you were being smart. Now, fast forward to today, that same $10,000 now has the purchasing power of just $5,300. You didn't spend a single penny. You did everything right, and yet you lost almost half your wealth while you were sleeping. This is what economists call inflation, but I call it what it really is, a hidden tax on people who don't understand how money actually works. When you save cash, you're not preserving wealth. You're holding a melting ice cube and pretending it's a brick of gold. Think about it like this. Imagine you're filling a bucket with water, but there's a hole in the bottom. You can pour faster, you can work harder, but you'll never get ahead because the system is designed with that hole built in. And here's the part that should make you angry. This isn't an accident. The system rewards people who own assets, real estate, stocks, businesses. It punishes people who hold cash. The longer you save, the poorer you become. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Look, even if you're in a high-yield savings account earning 4% and inflation is running at around 3%, you're barely breaking even. You're running on a treadmill just to stay in place. So every time you look at your savings account balance and feel that little hit of dopamine, remember this: that number is a lie. What matters isn't the number on the screen. What matters is what that money can actually buy, and every single day it buys less. Now you might be thinking, okay, but at least my money is safe, right? Wrong, because there's a second trap working against you that's even more dangerous, and it's called opportunity cost.
Trap number 2, the lazy money syndrome. Here's a question almost nobody asks. What is your money doing right now? If it's sitting in a savings account, the answer is nothing. It's lazy, it's asleep, and every day it sits there doing nothing, you're paying a massive invisible tax. Wealthy people don't think of money as something to protect. They think of it as employees. And if you had an employee who showed up to work every day and just sat in the break room staring at the wall, you'd fire them immediately. But that's exactly what your savings account is, a break room full of lazy employees collecting dust. Let's put real numbers to this. Say you have $50,000 in a high-yield savings account earning 4% interest. You're making $2,000 a year. That sounds okay until you realize inflation is running at nearly 3%. You're barely staying ahead. But here's what happens if you take that same $50,000 and deploy it strategically. You could start a side business with potential to generate $1,000 to $3,000 a month as it scales. You could build a dividend-focused portfolio, returning $2,000 to $3,000 a year passively, with room for growth. You could invest in a rental property that cash flows $300 to $500 monthly after all expenses. The difference between $2,000 a year and $20,000 to $30,000 a year isn't luck, it's not intelligence, it's understanding one simple truth. You're not paid for how much money you have, you're paid for how much value your money creates. And money sitting still creates zero value. Look, I had a friend who had $80,000 sitting in savings for 7 years. He felt safe. Last month, he ran the math I'm showing you right now and realized he'd lost the equivalent of a brand new car in purchasing power. He restructured everything using the framework I'm about to give you. 3 categories. That's it. Here's the brutal reality. There's a limit to how much your savings can protect you, but there's no limit to how much working capital can grow you. Trap number 3, the scarcity prison. Now here's where this gets psychological, and this is the trap that keeps most people stuck forever. Saving money is a defensive strategy. You're trying not to lose. But here's the problem. You can't win a game by only playing defense. At some point, you have to score. People who obsess over saving usually have what psychologists call a scarcity mindset. They live in constant fear of losing what they have, so they shrink their entire life to fit their income. They cut the coffee, they cancel the subscriptions, they eat rice and beans while their dreams collect dust. Meanwhile, wealthy people operate from abundance. They don't ask, how can I spend less? They ask, how can I earn more? Because here's the brutal math. There's a limit to how much you can save. You can only cut expenses down to 0, but there is no ceiling on how much you can earn. Think about someone who spends 3 hours a week extreme couponing to save $40. That's $13 an hour of their time. But if they spent those same 3 hours learning a high-income skill, copywriting, coding, sales, they could be making $50 to $100 an hour within 6 months. The time you spend saving pennies is time you're not spending building wealth. You're optimizing for the wrong variable. You're rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic while the ship is sinking. This is the scarcity prison, and most people never escape because they never realize they're in it. So, what's the solution?
The solution, the 3-bucket framework. Okay, so does this mean you should have $0 in savings? Should you just blow every paycheck on assets and hope for the best? No, of course not. That's reckless. Here's what you actually need. An emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting in cash. That's your safety net. That's your sleep well at night money. But here's the critical part. Once you hit that number, every single dollar after that should be deployed. Stop thinking like a saver. Start thinking like an allocator. Your job isn't to hoard cash. Your job is to put money to work in 3 specific buckets. And this is the framework that separates people who stay broke from people who build real wealth. Bucket 1, your brain. Skills that make you more valuable. A $500 course that teaches you to sell, write persuasive copy, or code will 10x that investment in 6 months because skills compound forever. They can't be taxed away. They can't be inflated away. They're yours for life. Bucket 2, your soldiers. Assets that fight for you while you sleep. Rental income, dividend stocks, a small business printing $500 a month. These aren't speculations. These are machines that generate income month after month, year after year. Bucket 3, your future. Index funds, real estate appreciation. The S&P 500 has averaged 10% annually over the past century, while inflation has run around 3%. That gap, that's where wealth is built. You're not trying to get rich overnight. You're building a portfolio that grows faster than inflation can destroy it. Emergency fund first, 3 to 6 months of expenses. Then every dollar goes into these 3 buckets, not savings, buckets. If you're still playing the old savers game, you're running on a treadmill that's slowly speeding up. You'll work harder every year and fall further behind. That's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to change it. The world has changed, and the rules of money have changed with it. If this video just made you realize your savings account is a trap, hit subscribe. Every week I break down the psychology that keeps people stuck and the exact frameworks that set them free.
Next video, why your 401k might be the second biggest scam. You won't want to miss it. Don't let your money die in a bank account. Make it work for you. I'll see you in the next one.